Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to paint the company champion from the Space Marines company heroes, and as you can see I built the miniature exactly like it's set in the instructions because I really like the pose of this miniature. It looks fantastic in my opinion. I like this kind of details. This is something that we can find in the Sword Brothers of the Black Templars, so I think that among all the units in that box this one looks the most like a Black Templar, so it's quite easy for me to paint like that. And as you can see, the only extra bit that I add to the miniature is this shoulder pad. This one came in the Black Templars Upgrades Pro, so if you want to get these shoulder pads, you know where to get them. And aside from that, I left the miniature like it is because I think that it looks super cool. And this is going to be the second miniature that I paint in the company heroes. The first one was the company veteran with heavy bolter that we have right here, and of course I will leave the video of this one right in the description in case that you want to see it. But right now it's the time for the company champion. Before I start painting, I want to take a look at the company champion in the box because this is from the Ultramarines, and I have seen that a lot of people, when they paint this miniature, they paint the helmet in a golden color. I'm not going to do that, okay, because I cannot imagine a Black Templar wearing like a golden helmet, aside from Hellbreak of course, because for me it's kind of weird. I mean, we can see a lot of gold in this miniature, but it makes sense because this is an Ultramarine second company, so they have these golden shoulder pads, and we can see that the symbol in the chest, the symbol in the hands and the knees, it's something that all of them kind of have, so it's not something unique about the company champion. So for sure I'm not going to paint the helmet in a golden color. I will try to add some gold to him because of course it's supposed to be a company champion and I don't want him to look like another sword brother. So I will try to add some gold to him, but for sure not the helmet like we can see here. And with that being said, now it's the time to paint some Space Marines because we are here to paint. So let's start with this miniature. And as usual, I will first of all prime the miniature with the Chaos Black from Citadel. I really like this primer. And after that, I'm going to apply Astro Granite Debris Technical Paint in the base of the miniature. So let's start. Here we have our company champion already primed and with the technical paint dried. But as you can see, the technical paint ended up being too flat. Maybe I didn't add enough or I didn't take care enough. So probably later I will have to add a little bit more for the base to look a little bit more irregular. But that's something that I will do later because right now I really want to start painting this miniature. And for that I have here a selection of grays and one white. And of course, first of all, I will use Asian Grey, and I will use it for the cloth of the miniature because I would like to start painting the parts that are like the most hidden of the miniature, the ones that I consider that they are going to be a little bit more difficult. That's why I want to start with this cloth, because it's going to be annoying to do later, and the earlier that I do it, the better, I consider. And then after that I will apply Dawnstone. Dawnstone is a lighter grey, and with this I should manage to get like a nice transition from black to white. And the purity seals, I will do them directly with Dawnstone. I don't think that I need the previous step, or at least I'm not going to do it. If you consider that it should have been better, please let me know because I really appreciate all the feedback. And then for the cloth and the purity seals, I will use here Wraithbone. This is the white that I really like because I think that it looks very nice. I don't want to have like a pure white. I will use a whiter white later for the highlights, but for now I want to look like this. My main goal is to have like a nice transition from black to white, and to have like I will try to keep the shades as much as possible. If not, later I will fix it with Null Oil, but let's try to do it like this. So let's start. Not bad. I have a nice base for later applying some more highlights and make it look a little bit nicer, but for now I'm super happy with how it looks, and I can continue painting the miniature. And for that I'm going to use these two colors that are like the base colors for my Black Templars. First of all, I'm going to use Lead Belcher. I'm going to use this one for all the metallic areas, like for example the symbol in the chest, the sword, of course, this symbol here in the back, some of the details of the power armor, and of course the inside parts and some details around here. That it's nice to have some metallic colors around. And then I will use corn red for all the red areas of the miniature. This is going to be like the base red. And of course this is I'm going to treat this Black Templar as a veteran, like I did with the other veteran, and I'm going to treat him like a sword brother. So I will give him red markings in the shoulder pads, and then I will paint of course the eyes and the purity seals. So after that it should look much nicer. Let's continue. Now that we have the base colors in the miniature, I will start adding some detail, and here we have two colors. First of all, I'm going to use more fan brown. I'm going to use this one for basically the leather, like for example the belt that we have here, or for example here for the weapon, or this pocket thing over here. I will use brown for that. And then I will use Balthasar gold for the gold details of the miniature. I will do the sword, I will do this skull over here, I will do this symbol here, and as well the chain maybe. And I will try to add a little bit here in this knee pad, because I think it will be cool to have like the company champion having some gold details. So I will do the skull here and these symbols around, and also these small symbols that we have here in the helmet. They're not super visible yet because of course I didn't add any highlights. So let's continue. This is the company champion right now, and as I mentioned, I wanted to add a little bit of gold details, but not too much, because of course I want this company champion to be like noticeable, but I don't like to add too much gold details, so I try to do the minimum possible. And right now, before I start shading the miniature and starting with the highlights, I would like to finish some details, like for example this shoulder pad here. And for this small skull I will use lead belcher, and then for the symbol here in the middle I will do like I did with the other company veteran. I will apply Donson first, and then I will just apply Wraithbone on top of it, and after that it should be ready to continue with the shading. I like how the shoulder pad looks right now, and now it's a perfect moment to start shading the miniature. And for that, here I have two different shades. I will use Agrax Earth shade, and I will use this one for all the gold details of the miniature, the purity seals as well, and the leather, for example the belt and the weapon here. I will use this one for that, and I really like the effect that this causes in this kind of thing, so it should look nice. And then of course I will use Null Oil, and I'm going to use this one for all the metallic elements of the miniature, like for example the symbol in the chest, the sword a little bit as well, this symbol in the back, and maybe I will try to add some shade here in the middle, we will see. But basically these are the two shades that I will use, and after that I should be able to start with the edge highlighting. This is a very fun point of the process because we can see some very interesting parts in the miniature and some of them that are quite boring. And for me right now the most boring part of this miniature is a black power armor. But of course that can be solved with some edge highlighting, so this is like a perfect opportunity to start edge highlighting the miniature, and I'm going to start with the power armor. For that I will use these two colors. I'm going to use Dark Reaper. I like to use this one first, and I would like to use it, I'm going to use it in every single edge of the power armor. Like I want every single edge to be with this color. And then after that I will use Fenrisian Grey, and with this one I will try to be a little bit more conservative. I will try to use a little bit less, and mostly in the most exposed part of the power armor, and always trying to be more careful. So let's continue. Now this company champion definitely looks much more interesting. We can see what's going on in the power armor and we can see all the details. Maybe here it looks a little bit more shiny than it actually is, because of course I have two lights on the sides because I really want to see what I'm doing. But it looks much more interesting, definitely. And now I can definitely start with the last highlights of the miniature, and for that I will use Corax White. I'm going to use this one for the cloth and also for this symbol here in the shoulder pad. Then I will use, of course, Evil Sun Scarlet. I will use this one for all the red details, like for example the eyes, the shoulder pads and the purity seals. And then Retributor Armor. Of course, this miniature has a lot like gold details, and I want to enhance them with a Retributor Armor that is like a much more shiny gold. And then of course I have here Stormhost Silver, and I will use this one for the metallic parts, like for example the symbol in the chest, a little bit of the sword, and this symbol in the back as well. So let's continue. This miniature is almost finished. I just need to do the last details, and I'm going to use a little bit more of a Wraith Bond, and in this case I'm going to dry brush the base of the miniature, and then I'm going to use Thousand Suns Blue to add a little bit of blue to the power source. I don't want to add too much because I actually like how it looks right now. It's just that I will try to add a little bit of blue, of course, around this thing over here to make it look like a little bit more like let's say ready for combat. So let's finish this miniature. And this is it. This is my company champion from the Space Marines company heroes. And as I mentioned earlier, I didn't want to add too much blue in the blade. I just wanted to have like a small glimpses, like okay, this is a power weapon, but he's still not engaged in combat, so I don't need it to be too glowy. And I kinda like this metallic effect to the blades. So I really like the pose of this miniature, because for me it's like he's looking at the enemy that he's going to engage in combat, and that sounds cool to me. I like the pose a lot right now. I can say that after painting it, it looks quite cool. And this is the second one that I paint from the squad, and I cannot wait to paint the other ones. For now, I think that they look quite nice. They look quite Black Templar veterans, and they feel like, even if they are too different, they feel like they are part of the same thing, which is quite nice in terms of consistency. And of course, I cannot wait to continue painting them, because I really like this Company Heroes box, because every single miniature in the box is super unique and super full of detail. But anyway, this is my company champion, and I hope that you will like it. And as usual, if you are still here, please consider giving me a like and subscribing. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.